Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 3 of Race Spec Esports. It's Oceania Pacific time, and we're here at the Gilles Villeneuve circuit on the banks of the Montreal River. It's going to be a fantastic race. Good group of guys here in Tier 3 that are going to go and fight it out. So you'll be joined in the booth tonight by myself, Shazzy's God, and my partner in crime who will be here in a minute is Raptor YNWA. So if we have a look over the last couple of weeks, I did miss the British Grand Prix unfortunately last week due to prior commitments, but if we go and have a look now on the Discord at the results from last week of this league has been tight all the way through. So I'm just trying to find, there we are, Pacific standings, Tier 3. And at the moment it is Smeg leading Chubasaurus by 1 point. Old Boy currently third in the Drivers Championship, only 3 points behind, and Sus is 7 points behind the leader there, Wonky and Ashley as well, still all within a chance of getting their wins. We've got some new guys in here. We've got BB racing tonight in the Mercedes. That'll be good to see as we go and have a look at the Constructors Championship, and it's the Huss pairing of Old Boy and Sus that are leading from the Racing Point pairing of Smeg and Ashley. So it's tied in the Constructors, only 2 points in it from the top two. As we go and have a look at last week's results. After Chubb's win, it was TCF Old Boy getting it done, coming first. Second it was Ashley, and third was Wonky. So it's going to be great to see these guys racing tonight around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. As we're just going to wait for a few guys to make their way in. We had Huddins and Andy have been the drivers of the day so far. Crook had 2 licence points added to his licence from the British Grand Prix. Other than that, it's been fairly benign here in Race Spec Esports in the regional Chile. So as we see, they've readied up. There's 10 seconds to go. Welcome to the 7 viewers. Do talk to us in the chat. I have got the chat opened up on my phone, so we will get away here with short qualifying around Montreal. Tell us what you think. Who do we think is going to win? We're running with 16 runners by the looks of this tonight. So let's go. Hopefully a few more can join during the qualifying session. So let's go and have a look at this qualifying session as it starts. Oh, Todd Star, thank you, mate. I do have a very strong Australian accent. It is something that I pride myself on. People do call me Ocker as much, but that is how the cookie crumbles, and hopefully it's good to have the tiltles of an Australian, as it's wet. A wet qualifying session at Canada. Who would have thought in the depths of winter? And as we welcome Raptor to the commentary booth. Yeah, not bad, thank you, Raptor. I've just jumped in and noticed that the boys are going to be going around on the wet to intermediate tyre. Hopefully no issues, mate. So we'll wait and see Just trying to see if one of the boys can tell me what the race is like. 18 minutes of qualifying around this circuit, Gilles Villeneuve. How many of these guys are going to be caught at the World Champions down the back straight? We see a few of them just waiting to go out, and we see the first of the Mercedes go out, and that'd be one of them. We're not sure which one of them's gone yet. We'll find out in a second as they exit the pit lane. So it'd be mustard gas that started. It is wet. It is wet out there, ladies and gentlemen, and he's on the wet tyre. So Wonky's got the intermediate fitted at the moment, but he's just going to sit there and wait and see. There's only one car out doing a siding lap at the moment. He's on the wet as well, yep. So full wets it is at the moment. I'm just trying to find out off our league commissioner if the race will be wet. That is a shocking view. On board. Mustard will follow Mustard here. He's the first one out. A few more have gone out. They're all gone out on the full wets. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Honest gets his wish of the rain. Honest is a great racer in the wet. Has been a great racer for many of his time in the wet, and has been known as being the boat in this league. No, he's not going to get any pace into the start, so we'll go and have a look, follow Escuna Matata. Yeah, Wonky will try on the inters, but I think you'll find as Schooner gets past Mustard's check your phone. Wrapped up. There is a dry line. There is a dry line sort of forming, but I would dare say it's still a full wet condition. We'll just wait and see. Schooner does about a 27 in the first sector, so be interesting to see. About a 108 would be what would get pole position around here. So we'll wait and see what happens here now. And Powers just had a 5-place grid penalty for a collision, which is unfortunate for him. He's going to be starting 5 places back, and it happens in the wet. Some drivers just have different braking zones in the wet, and that's what happens.
That was my concern when I seen this weather, that there might be a few issues in qualifying. So the first one has obviously happened, as Old Boy goes top with a 124.47.
Old Boy top 124, so roughly 16 seconds slower. Schooner goes and does a 123. We'll go out and have a look at Johnny M. No, we won't. We'll have a look at Ludo. Lehardo here. See what time he does. So you can see there's that dry line there that is forming, but is it going to be good enough for the inters, or with the rain still forming, or would it be better off for the drivers just to go out on the full wets? At the moment the full wets are leading, and all the guys that are on inters have dived back into the pits, so obviously thinking that it is going to be better to go out in the full wets at the moment, or possibly even wait it out for this rain to slow down. It has died down a little bit. The hairpins where you're going to notice the difference. The traction out of the hairpins is going to be vital.
And a good lap there from the Red Bull, MJJ.
MJ.
As he goes to second.
He goes second, 1:24.1, so some evening times. We're having a look at Lardo here on stream to see how he goes. This lap's been pretty faultless so far, but this chicane, we all know what it's like. And he hits that wall and invalidates, so getting too far out. Let's go and have a look at Sus. Smig does a 1:22 flat, so as our race winner from round 1.
Tay Lunacy's on a good lap here. Where's he going to go? He goes to second. The Renault sitting second and third.
Ooh, very good from Lunacy. We'll follow Chubb as he comes in, and then we'll go and have a look at these other runners that are here. Chubb has gone in. We dare say Sess will come in. Johnny's going to start in his flying lap.
So something's obviously oh no, is he on a hot lap yet? I don't think so. Suscas sitting at 150 at the moment, so I think he might be on an out.
Looks like
obviously had some issues there.
Yeah, he's had some issues with his lap, I think, and he's just decided to jump in. So he starts his lap here. We will follow Power, who's in sector 1. He's just waiting, so we'll go to us and Johnny. We'll float between these. Johnny did a 23.8 in the second sector, so he's been quick. Old boy does a 21.21, so betters his time. Our race winner from last week. Around the technical Silverstone circuit. I don't think Johnny's going to be able to get up there. We see Artie do a 34 on Inters, so we'll wait and see. Sus now.
Looks like he could be on for a very good lap here, Johnny. May very well go P1 here.
Oh,
no, he's just missed out. Slides in at third.
Yeah, no, he slipped coming out of the hairpin. Let's see how that goes. The Red Bull chasing after the Haas team of Old Boy and Sus. At the moment his teammate is in provisional P2 and he's gone fastest in sector 2 as Ash. We'll follow this along. He gets a good turn out of the hairpin. Let's see how he goes. Coming down on the run to the Wall of Champions, and that's a good exit. Got to make sure you don't hit the wall. Gets a little bit of spin off the curb in the track, lost of traction with the water. Can he do it? Does a 1:21.5, so he goes to second.
That little spin there, just coming around that last corner, has probably hurt him, cost him a first place there.
Probably has cost him there. Sammy now on the run to the hairpin in the McLaren. There's 8 hundredths, sorry. Oh, his time has been caught up in some traffic. Andy's done a 1:26 on Inters, and he's 2.5 seconds up on his time. He gets a bit of spin out of the chicane at turns 5 and 6. On the run to 7 and 8. These Inters don't look like they're comfortable for him in this second sector. That's where he seems to be losing all his time. But he is almost 4 tenths up on his time. So 4 tenths up on his time is going to push him close to that top of the tree. Obviously Wonky and Metz does a 1:22.751. Let's see what Artie does here. It's all about how he gets out of this corner, and he's gotten out okay. He's not going to be on pole, but he's probably going to be at a 22.1, which puts him in 4th at the moment on 4-lap fold into tyres. We go and watch Power. He's yet to settle up. There's just over 7.5 minutes left in this session. So them guys in the outside of the top 10, they've got to make a decision now on whether they're going to go and drop the Inters on Locks up coming into the hairpin. Easily done around this circuit, especially in the wet. Locks up again. Not necessarily too bad a thing, but guess in wheel spin out of the last corner, and that's not going to be good enough. Power will go to 13th and only just beat Mustard. Chubb's invalidated. Lahardo does a 22.2, that puts him in the 6th. Anyone now? Artie doing another lap. He's decided to dive in. Thus is on another lap. Can he get better? No, he can't. He runs wide out of turn 3. So these guys start to dive in. Schooner's 3 temps up on his time and fastest through sector 1. We got MJ on stream now. The thing is, yes, MJ does the right thing and runs off the track. Allows the Renault to get going. The Renault's on the intermediate tyres. The rain stops, so the track does start to look like it's starting to acclimatise to the intermediate tyres. As we can see, the top 5 have all got intermediates fitted now. What time can Schooner do? There's a nice exit there, not much wheel spin. This is going to be a fantastic time. This is going to be sub 120, I reckon, just 121. He's done well there and he goes to provisional pole. It is a Schooner. So we've seen the first run of our runners on the intermediate tyres. Old boy's 3 temps down on his time, but he's loading up for a fast lap now. He invalidated this one. What can he do? On the intermediate tyre. The rain's just starting to fall again, so the track's going to start to get wet and slippery as these drivers get going. It's raining down the top half of the course, and once we get to the hairpin it just starts to slow down. So, oh boy, 4 temps up on his time. It's not quickest at the moment, but it's 4 temps better than what he's done. Can he pick up another temp and get to where he needs to be? Gets a nice exit out of the second chicane. On the run down to the hairpin he goes. Up into 7th. Will touch 8th gear slightly. Then it's down. And he hits his apex perfectly around the hairpin. And this is going to be a fantastic lap time. As he enters down the back straight, as we see Schooner just go better and do an even better time than what he done. So Mustard's retired. Let's see how he goes out in this exit. He doesn't get it quite clean enough. Ashley does a 119. Old boy does a 119 and Ashley does a 119.3. Hudden's out for his first lap. Chubb's on his out lap. Poe in the second sector down to the hairpin. He's purple at the moment down to sector 2. As we can see, it's a lot drier up around the hairpin as it is in sector 1 and the start of sector 2. Gets out onto the wet line. There's 3.5 minutes left in this session. What's gonna get pole? Can someone better? He stuffs up there. This Chubb. Does BB. Honest is out.
We've still got 4 drivers here without a lap with 3 minutes to go, so the pressure's on there for them to perform straight away.
Dived into the pits. Well, let's go and have a look. Yeah, Honest just dived in the pits. So, Lancey 6 temps up on his original time that was on the wet tyre. Needs to find...
BB's just invalidated again.
Oh no. He needs to find another 3 seconds. He's pushing these tyres as much as he can. If he gets a nice exit out of the second chicane.
Purple sector 2 for Chubb.
Yeah, well...
Looking to set his first lap time.
Lancey's a 1.5 seconds up on his time, and he's going to go down in the back straight. Gets a fair bit of wheel spin out of the hairpin though. Trying to find that time. Where can he go? This is going to be an interesting race, nonetheless.
Chubb jumps to fourth.
Fourth for Chubb. Where's latency going to put himself? This could be a good time. We could be looking at a low 120. Oh! High 120, 119. That's fantastic. Smeg was a second and a half up. He's not going to better his time enough to get him higher, but he has done a good time, Smeg, to get himself into 8th. Lahardo, let's see what he can do. 120.4, that puts him up to 8th. Sus is 9.
Schooner just goes P1.
Schooner goes...
Ashley?
Nah, Schooner goes P1, he beats Ashley's time. So clearly it's going to be a dry race, ladies and gentlemen, because these guys are putting a lot of laps onto these intermediate tyres. We've got a bit of slow traffic ahead of here for Sus. Let's see what he does with it. And McLaren gets out of the way. Well done, Semi. And into the run to the second chicane. Done well.
So under a minute to go here, and we've still got 2 drivers not yet set up.
Chubb goes fastest. Let's see what happens here. It's a good lap. Sussex needs to get it to dial in now. It won't be a 119, it'll be a 120.2. They'll put him into 8th. Wonky out on his lap, he's got to set a time. On the intermediate tyres as a scooter goes into the 118s. And Wonky hits the wall though, that's unfortunate.
VB with a 119. He's left it late, but he's got the job done.
MJ, what can MJ do? He's around the hairpin. This is the quickest we've seen at the hairpin today. Session's done, so MJ's got to throw this all out on the intermediate tyre. Don't get caught cutting there, that's good. He's not going to better his time, he's not going to get a 118, he's probably not even going to get a 119. He's going to get a 120.1, that puts him in 10th. As we go and watch Sus, can Sus get himself into the top 10 again? He's only 500ths behind MJ, and as we just seen, he was 500ths up.
Honest is on for a good lap here.
Honest
goes P1 with a 118.7.
With 118. We're just going to follow Sus, who's invalidated. Power is done. Wonky's 22 seconds up. Metz is 45 seconds on. And Ash jumps into the pit, so everyone's done. That's all she wrote. Honest Crook gets the fastest lap in qualifying. There's a wet qualifying here in Montreal. We'll see what happens when it comes to race form. Metz looks like he's run out of fuel. And everyone else is done. So we go to the race. So Mustard, he crashed out. We have 19 runners. If he crashed, let's have a look now, quickly. So Power with that 5-place grid penalty will move to last on the grid in the McLaren. Let's have a look at some of the incidents, what happened here. So Power collided with Metz. What happened to Mustard? Speeding in the pit lane, exceeding track limits, and then terminal damage, so he's crashed out. So you're getting done for corner cuts. Semi-pro and Wonky we'll have to have a look at. Wonky twice getting done for a corner count. So we'll go to the race. Let's see what the race is going to do. Just waiting for everyone to join. The session will start in half a minute. So it's wet for the race as well. Raptor.
This should make for a very interesting start. Hopefully all drivers will drive to the conditions around turn 1 and we'll be able to see a clean start and get off to racing cleanly.
Hopefully. We'll have a look in a minute as the strategies will pop up. And it's wetter than qualifying, so all drivers are on the full wet. Every single driver on full wets to start the race. So Wonky's left the session, hopefully he can get back in. So it's saying it's going to be a full wet race, and so you would expect a one stop here, expect a lot of safety cars. Our first look at a street circuit this season. You see there's a fair distance between Honest and Schooner. All drivers trying to keep a good distance away from each other. You see power down in that 19th position. So full wet, 35 laps around this circuit. It's difficult enough in the dry. To have it in the wet with 19 cars on the track at one time is going to be very, very interesting for these 19 runners. But so you watch Honest, he's trying to get them tyres up. Sitting at about 60, he's backed the field right up. BB and Chubb have been disqualified, so I'm guessing that BB or Chubb has run into one another. And that means they're going to have cold tyres off the start line. So, Honest, he backed the field right up. Had him doing less than 40 k's an hour down the back straight. And they hit the wall of champions and they're going to go and line up. Computer will take over now, they'll go and line up and we'll get ready to go for lights out here in the Canadian Grand Prix on the streets of Montreal. Turn 1's going to be very interesting as we wait. As we wait for the 5 red lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's lights out and away we go in the Canadian Grand Prix. Honest gets a good start. Schooner goes well. We're just going to follow Honest here at the moment. Schooner gets up there. Chubb. There's a fair bit of chewing and throwing at turn 1. Let's see what they're like for here. So, Ashley, as
we've got a McLaren spun out somewhere, I think.
The McLaren, no, the McLaren would be right.
You know, McLaren's off the track
Semi
now.
got a 5-second penalty with power. For a collision. That telemetry's playing right up at the moment. Oh, we've seen MJ's gone into the wall, I think. You'll find.
Oh no, he's flying out on lap 1.
Wonky, so we see here that as we've gone into virtual, and now telemetrics are going crazy. But it is Schooner in the Renault, leading from Honest Crook. Chubb and BB, and it's the Haas of old boy Ashley. The Racing Points have had a shocking start, and the track goes green again. Wonky's out. He took the wall on, and he lost. We see the Mercedes of Mustard colliding with Suff. This is going to be very interesting though. I'm going to go watch these leaders.
So we've got the AlphaTauri diving into the pits as well. So must have picked up some damage on lap 1 of Artie.
Oh yes, Artie's diving into the pits.
We've got a lot in the pits actually. 5.
Yeah, 5 into the pits that have made contact with the wall. Or made contact on lap 1. Pushing the limits of this track as we're following with Chubb. Right on the diffuser of Honest. At the moment it's Schooner just pushing away. As you see Latency and Smig behind MJ there on the run. Only really 2 overtaking spots on this track in the dry. In the wet there's probably only 1. And we're coming up to it. But can Smeg afford to outbrake himself at the hairpin? He's not going to have a crack, he's not close enough. Yes, MJ's going well. Let's go and have a look at old boy. We come to the Wall of Champions. Can he get a good enough run? Schooner does a 23.9, it's the fastest lap. So some 5 seconds slower than qualifying. MJ gets a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. Very tough pit lane here at Montreal. We're going to just follow this and see how this goes. Here's old boy on the run down. Hello Matt, how are we? We're just following old boy there. See how he goes. Struggling a little bit in the wet. Guess past BB does Johnny M. That was a good move at the chicane. Let's have a look at Latency. See how he's going. Quite damp here in Montreal, Matt, but it's good to see. As Latency's gone down now onto a run down onto the Smeg. Honest talked up a big game about the wet. He is a wet specialist. But at the moment he's getting shown how to drive by the Renault. As we see Smeg and the Mercedes of BB fighting at the moment, and Lancey's down the inside of that Mercedes. Honest does a 23.7. But remember, these cars are going to be full of fuel. There's another 31 laps to go. How far do you push these wets before you go and put on a fresh set? That is going to be the question on every driver's lips. Just follow this battle at the moment. It's the only battle on track other than BB falling back as he's gone into the pits. The only one, everyone else is strung out. Old boy's having a run at Chubb, but we'll just follow the Renault of Lancey here at the moment. See how he can go, see if he can get the job done on his rival in Smeg. Old boy, the winner of last week, up there, doing well. Honest is pushing. The yellow flags and a safety car's been called. Who's crashed out? Someone has crashed out and has caused his safety car. It's not Mustard. It is Semi-Pro going slow. So we have got a safety car at lap 4, ladies and gentlemen, and now these drivers have got a decision to make. Do you dive in now? Do you get the job done? Do you get the pit stop done? It's too early, I would have thought. You're not going to send your wets 30 laps, but in the wet, you never know. So the safety car's about to pick the leaders up now. The other thing we have to think about too is that it's the wet as well. So Chubb and Old Boy get a 5-second penalty. Chubb gets a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Old Boy. So we'll wait to see the stewards' room for that one. We watch as these boys, it's full safety count. And as we know, hosting is on. In this league. We bunch the field back out. Gonna be interesting to see. We're 5 laps into this race. Front runners are all the big guys. But there is one that's doing a ray in Wonky that's just struggled. And he collected the wall. So, safety car just bunches the field back up. Old Boy's decided to jump into the pits and get the pit stop done. He's going to try and take his mediums all the way. Let's see what goes on now. So, honest. It's just slow going at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long the safety car stays out for, because the Mercedes of Mustard Gas is a long way behind.
Well, in the scheme of things, Mustard's at the hairpin right now. Now the safety car's at the last chicane before you hit the short straight to go to the hairpin. So in theory, Mustard's got to make up nearly 3/4 of a lap before he gets on the back of the train. Does the safety car stay out until Mustard gets to there, or does it wait for the
Well,
McLaren?
He's pitting now too, so that's going to take a lot longer.
Mustard, I think, must be just not liking the track, because he is one of the better drivers as such. So I think what will happen here is that
So I'm assuming he must have got damage or something there, because he
have to have
was
damage.
on wets. He was on wets, and he's gone to wets, and the wets were only 1 lap old.
Yep. So he's had damage. So I would suggest that what's going to happen here is that the safety car will wait for Semi-Pro to get on the back of this train, and once Semi-Pro's on the back of this train, it'll pull in. Metz has had a 5-second penalty with Mustard. With BB, sorry. So there is collisions left, right and centre here behind the safety car. Now they will be looked at in the stewards chat after the race, that is for certain. We're just going to follow the leader here, Schooner, to see what this safety car does. But as we speak, Semi-Pro is coming to the first corner now, so he's not that far from the train. Mustard's just entered the last chicane as the leaders have entered the second chicane here. So I would dare say that an old boy's got a 3-second penalty under safety car. He will be not happy about that. I dare say that would probably be seeing the end of the safety car on this lap. Sammy will be able to get to somewhat near the end. He's 8 seconds from the pack, but he'll be somewhat near the end. So there's confirmation, safety car in this lap. So he'll pull away and Schooner will have control of the field. So how slow is he going to control it? He's got him at 80 k's now at the moment, up around the 100. He'll want to sit at 120, that's about it. He won't want to go. And he's gone early, because he now can't change. He's accelerated his speed, he's coming up. He's sitting at 200 k's an hour, he can't change his speed. He broke for the last corner, and he's off. And the restart's on. And Schooner's caught on a snapping, and Chubb's going to catch that.
For a move here.
Turn 1. The one spot to do a move. Let's see how this goes. Honest holds his ground, and Chubb's been pushed out with Johnny. Johnny pulled away. Chubb remains in 3rd position. So it's down to here. We go. Schooner's pulled out by already 2 seconds, so he got a flying start off the restart. We'll have a look here. Latency's on the end of a train. There's a big train happening here that will last a little while. We'll just follow latency. I don't see. I'll keep my eye on Chubb.
A little bit of contact from MJ there.
So MJ
oh, sorry, a little bit of contact from Artie on MJ. So, a bit happening down the back here as well.
Yeah, it will happen down the back. There is 17 drivers. As Hudden gets his thing, we're just going to go and follow this battle for second. Honest is caught up, so it's going to clearly either making a mistake or Honest just finding his grip. But let's just follow Chubb. Honest is pulling away from Chubb a little bit here at the moment. Johnny's a second away from Chubb, so he's 2 seconds, over 2 seconds away from Honest. Honest has found 7 tenths this lap from the restart, from the start to the finish. From the restart, so Schooner crosses the line on lap 9, our leader. Now the thing to remember here is that BB and TCF Old Boy, who's had to dive into the pitch now, were the ones that were in probably the ideal position. But at the moment, BB's probably the one that's in the ideal position because he won't have to pit again. These wets will get him to the end. Honest has just dived away and there's a little bit of a gap forming. Really, it's only Ashley and on the back of Suss here who he'll want to account for Suss pretty quickly and make a run with Ashley and get up near his teammate to help with the Constructors Championship. Remember, we get points to 15th in Race Spec, so Lahardo at the moment is on for a points finish. And Old Boy's made a smart move here because he's had some penalties, he's gotten rid of some penalties, and what he's done is now he's gone on to the newer tyres. So there's just a 3-car pack here at the moment. BB, Ashley and Suss all in this pack here fighting for that 8th position. We see there's 75%, Suss is on 50, so Suss is leaking a bit of ARS. Ashley's just catching up to him. We see Huddens gets a move done on latency. We're migrating host here, which is not what you want to see. Migrating host. So latency's lagged out. And at the moment we're just migrating host. BB's left the session. So Smeg's left the session. There's been a lag situation here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's happened. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Just going to look into the chat to find out if anything's been posted. So Wonky was glitching. So everyone's lagged out. You still there, Raptor?